Do you know who I am? I'm kind of a big deal.
Welcome inside another edition. It is the Bmore Baseball Podcast. I'm Jerry Coleman. He's the Orioles Hall of Famer, the 14-year MLB veteran. His name is Mike Bordick. We're producing brand new content every day on our X page, Facebook pages, of course, Instagram. Find us now at Bmore Sports Pod. That's Bmore Sports Pod. That's also where you go to watch the show on YouTube at Bmore Sports Pod. And when you subscribe to our podcast and show us the evidence, you qualify for a $50 gift card from Lido Pizza. We need the evidence, though. Today, it's episode number 25, Bordy. We're going to be joined by newly minted Orioles Hall of Famer Adam Jones. We'll also talk about Bordy's arrival in Baltimore and catch up. Well, that was a long time ago, Bordy's arrival in Baltimore. We'll also catch up with the doc, Dr. Michael Jacobs, and talk about the process of a pitcher gearing up after they've been idle for a long period of time. The Orioles have a few of those in that category. But let's bring in our featured guest. He's sponsored by Pappas Seafood. From crab cakes to seafood classics, they'll deliver straight to your door. 4 locations in the Baltimore area, plus nationwide shipping. Order today at pappascrabcakes.com. Look who it is. It's Adam Jones, who is making history. He is the first 2-time guest on the Bmore Baseball Podcast, fresh off going into the Orioles Hall of Fame. He was also our first guest. Welcome back, AJ. How you been, man?
Oh man, you guys are sponsored by Pappas. Oh, that's some good food right there. No, but
Yeah.
all is good, man. Just navigating my new role. Obviously trying to be the husband, father, and traveling the world still. So I'm trying to wear a lot of hats and trying to stay busy. I think busy is fun. Busy is a good thing. So just again, trying to stay busy and embrace these new roles.
Yeah, you do wear a lot of hats. You got a vast collection of hats, no doubt about that. You don't see the same hat 2 days in a row. But I did want to harp on this recent O's trip you went on. Speaking of traveling, you got to be with the team on the road, I think, not only at Wrigley, but in Philly as well.
Yeah.
And tell us about that experience in traveling with the guys and how that came about.
Well, traveling with the team now feels extremely weird. I had no idea where to sit on the bus. I think I had to get on bus 3, the media bus. I don't know. Got on the plane. I'm like, do I go left or do I go right? I don't know where to sit. I'm in a no man's world, but it's cool. Obviously, Charles, the PR travel secretary, is like, hey, here you go here, navigating. But it's really cool to see how I was, how the players are. You know what I mean? Like I remember when former players would be around, I'm sure they felt a little weird also, but it's all part of it. The best part for me though is to getting on the field part. Being able to put the uniform back on for a couple hours, go out there and talk to the guys, be a resource. Again, I had my career. All I'm trying to do is help them in their career. I was out with Jeremiah Jackson trying to help him in right field. Philly, new ballpark. Obviously in Wrigley, new ballpark. Just trying to help him get his feet wet, get comfortable out there, get the confidence, which is the utmost thing that you need to play in this major league. So I'm just trying to be a resource, be a helpful figure, and talk to Anthony Sanders a lot, talk to Mazzolino a lot, and just trying to be there and be around.
And how often will you be around? Because I saw the Orioles picked up John Mabry, and he's in uniform all the time helping the young players. The influence I think that you and players like Mabry could potentially have, I think you just can't even describe how invaluable that is. Will you be able to be around more and actually in uniform on the field helping these guys?
Well, I don't want to be around this more. I enjoy the freedom. I enjoy the vacations. I enjoy my life. Also, I enjoy being around the game. I get a good fix with it. Obviously, would I want to do it more? A tad bit, but I don't want to be a coach like Mabry. I love what Mabry's doing. He's that veteran figure who's able to pass down some knowledge. He's played with some Hall of Famers, some great players. And the last couple of days, I got to sit and talk with him a little bit on the field or stand and talk with him, and it's been great. Obviously, he had a great career, but knows how to play the game, knows what the game needs, and is there to be a resource, be a big brother to these guys. He's been through the trenches. He's seen the highs, the lows of this game, and I think he's a valuable resource going forward for our team because he knows the game inside and out, and he can get these guys going.
What do you think that for young players now, is it more understanding the game of baseball? Is it trying to find a balance between analytics and the game of baseball? Is there an in-between, and how are we moving forward with this?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing. It has to be communication. If you say this is how you play the game on a computer, I've never seen that. And if you just say this is how you play the game physically, again, things are changed. So why can't you just fuse them? Again, we're here for the same reason. That's what I thought. Like, analytics are supposed to help the player. The player is supposed to obviously take the data and use the information. So that's what it is. It's just that you have to have the ability to talk. Yeah, that's transparency is what this game is about. The analytics should be talking to the players about how this is what's going on. This is how we get better. And the players should be talking to analytics about how I can get better. How can I improve? What are they trying to do to me? And there should be definitely constant dialogue. There should never be any separation, because at the end of the day, you put on the Orioles uniform or you put on the Yankees uniform, you put on any team's uniform, you're there to win. So if you're getting that lanyard and you can scan into that building, you should be there trying to do everything you can to help win that game that day.
You talked earlier about your status as an executive and trying to fit in. I mean, you're an executive. You don't have to wear a suit, but you're higher up. I mean, is that the difficulty? Because, I mean, you see yourself sometimes as a player, not a coach, but again, you're at a different level now than you were as a player. Have you accepted that?
True. But I'm always going to be a player. I'm always going to fight for the players. I'm always going to be on the player side. Obviously, I call BS when I see BS. But I'm a player. I'm always going to be a player. So I think my role is not to be like I'm a front office guy. I'm going to step on you guys. My role is, how can I make the on field better? How can I do that? Like, any way I can relay the message from top to bottom, bottom to top. I just want to be able to bridge this gap that we don't have a bad gap, but other teams do, and a lot of people do. Where it's just like there's just a disconnect. I want to have it where we are connected, and when we're connected, we're good. Like you see, we have incredible talent, so we just have to be connected. And again, this year, they've got injuries, we've got all this, so it's not a matter of disconnect. It's just sometimes just part of it. And you know, I know how to separate it. I do. Like I know how to go in the clubhouse and be away. Then, you know, I go into the back rooms or go into the side room. I don't really be in the clubhouse in the guy's space, because I remember how sacred and know how sacred that is. So I definitely understand my role of coming in the clubhouse and being around the guys. I don't step on any toes, but I'm just out there. I'm in uniform. I'm out there. If anybody wants to talk, I'm always open book. And, you know, I love that Sanders, he comes to me the most, and we just talk baseball. We talk shop, and that's what you miss. You know, you miss just sitting there talking shop.
Yeah, sometimes I think you learn the most just sitting around a table and talking the game. This year's been really interesting, I think, for you, Adam. Coming on board, this Oriole team looked like they were headed back to the postseason. Moderate rebuild, not rebuild, but strengthening in the offseason. But things didn't go right. You mentioned the injuries, but did you see other things this first half of the season that set the Orioles back other than just injuries? Because I know from my vantage point, it just seemed like it wasn't real good Orioles baseball. Sloppy defense, poor base running, and the list kind of goes on and on.
And obviously, injuries, everybody's going to have them. End of the day, you have to play solid baseball. You got to catch the ball. You got to throw the ball. You got to hit the ball. You got to move the runners. You got to score runs. That's the name of the game. It does not have to look pretty. Most of the time, it's going to look ugly. And we just didn't have a good first half. And once you don't have a good start to the season, it really, really hurts in trying to catch up for the rest of the season. That's why I always say, talk to me June 1st, because hopefully we're 5-10 over 500 to where we can make a push, we can be buyers and do those type of things. But we've had some real tough first 2 months of my careers there, and it makes the season very, very long. It makes it unfortunate. The fan base is not with you when you trade guys. The fan base is definitely not with you even more. But it's part of the game, and I look at this year as a wake-up call. You know, it's like, okay, we had 2 good years. Really good years, and I look at it as a wake-up call. And I think everybody top to bottom in the organization does too. I think we could have, I think we won't say missed the ball, but it's a wake-up year for all of us. And I think that with the moves made, the guys we got back, a lot of prospects, a lot of talent, the draft that we had, I think we're poised to make a splash now, as opposed to just waiting along and just going along with the process. I think now it's time we've been woken up. We've been slapped. And we don't like. I don't think we like that right now. So hopefully we make some big moves and some big splashes.
How about the moves that were made at the trade deadline? You've been through that before and seeing teammates go. And Cedric Mullins, that was hard to see because he persevered through so much good and bad here as an Oriole. What was your message to him? He's going to a playoff contending team. And maybe some of the other guys. Did you have words with them before they left?
Obviously, I talked to Mullins the most, and I just told him, hey, go do something. Go do something special. You're going to a playoff team right now. You're in the Big Apple. Go do something special. And his response was, I'm about to go do it. I'm about to go off. And that's what you want. You want to be in the playoff race. Again, the year wasn't the best for us this year. So again, you have to trade some guys. You got to move on. You got to shed some money and all that kind of stuff. It's simple business. Everybody knows it. It's, you know what I mean? It's just, they get too much emotionally wrapped into it, which I totally understand. I like these guys too. You get close with their families, close with everybody. But it was a business decision, and it's not saying that you can't bring them back. I'm just saying this is like that right now. We got to shed a little money and get some players. But no, I really hope that he goes on and balls out. You know, puts himself in a good situation to get a long-term deal. I was able to speak to Liriano a little bit, and I love him. I love his energy. Talk to Rhino a little bit, and just like, hey, you guys are getting an opportunity to go to a playoff team. Go make the best of your opportunities. You know what I mean? It didn't work out right now this year with us, but it can work out. Put you in another organization right now and go do your best and go strive for the best. Kittredge, another guy, and Morton, didn't really know them much, but I've obviously seen him in passing. I got to see Kittredge in Chicago, shook his hand. Hey, man, you know me. It's a simple thing. Stay healthy, get after it. The normal love and respect that you play your fellow players, and you know, you wish them all the best. Obviously, you wish them all that they can be in your uniform, but you know, sometimes it doesn't happen like that.
More of the Bmore Baseball podcast coming right up. At Pappas Restaurants, we've been serving up Maryland's best crab cakes for over 5 decades, and now we make it easier than ever to get your favorites. With 4 restaurants and sports bar locations across Harford County, Baltimore County, and Anne Arundel County, you can stop in for fresh seafood, ice-cold drinks, and wall-to-wall TVs. But if you can't make it in, don't worry. We'll bring Pappas to you. Our new state-of-the-art shipping and commissary location on Bel Air Road in Nottingham means you can pick up fresh-made meals or have our famous crab cakes and seafood shipped anywhere in the country. Dine in, pick up, or ship nationwide. However you Pappas, we've got you covered. Order now at pappascrabcakes.com. Shop Maryland's largest adult use and medical cannabis menu located at 1114 Cathedral Street in Baltimore, with medical delivery available throughout Maryland 7 days a week, only at Relief Shop.
Hello, my name is Reese Friedman, and I'm the daughter of Stephen L. Friedman and Rachel Friedman.
Hi, I'm Reese Friedman, a little bit older from the last time you saw me, but still the daughter of Stephen and Rachel Friedman and the granddaughter of Michael Friedman. Now, I'm here to tell you that the law offices of Michael Friedman are still the experts in the field of personal injury accident law. So if you or a loved one have been seriously injured in a motor vehicle accident, I do not want you to hesitate. Call us at 410-363-6848 or email us directly from our website, maflaw.com, for a free consultation. The law offices of Michael Friedman, serving the community for over 40 years.
Jerry Coleman here. I've been a client of the law offices of Michael A. Friedman for well over 25 years now. From motor vehicle accidents to other tort-related issues, 410-363-6848, or find them on their website at maflaw.com.
I'm retired now, but I was an Orioles home run. Grand slam, actually. Took a sweet ride right into the flag court, and it was awesome. Could be awesome for you too. If you play Home Run Riches from the Maryland Lottery, you could win instantly or be a contestant of the game and win $500 for being selected, $500 for every Orioles home run, and $5,000 for every grand slam. Sounds like a ball if you ask me. Enter all season at mdlottery.com.
Well, I know a guy that got traded to the Mets a while ago, and he ended up coming back to the Orioles. That could possibly happen with Cedric Mullins because the Orioles have to do a lot of rebuilding. All these trades that they made, they just got a stockpile of minor league players. Have you been down to the minor leagues? Do you know what their philosophy is in developing all these newly recruited Orioles?
I think that we have this new wave of coming. Like, we had a really good draft, and we got a new wave of talent that is coming. Like, just a similar wave that we just had the last 2 years with Gunnar and Adley and Jackson, Colton, Kerstad, and like just this big group. And again, it takes time. Nothing is guaranteed in this game, as you know. You're gonna have to put in the work. You're gonna have to get to spring training. You have to put in the time, put in the off season when nobody's watching. Like I tell my kids, I'm sure you told your kids, do the work when nobody's watching. It's easy when everybody's watching. That's easy to put in the work. Do the work when nobody's watching. And again, next year we're getting guys who are a year older, a year smarter, a year hungrier. And I hope that's going to be a year better baseball players because, when our stars are aligned, we're a really good team. Obviously, we've had some mishaps this year, just like a lot of teams, and there's no excuses. That's part of the game. I'm going out there fighting and grinding with whoever's on my team that day. So it's never an excuse. You know me, I'm never going to make that. But you got to get better. That's just that's the eye test. The eye test is telling you got to get better. You got to get better at baseball. You got to get better at fundamentals. And once we get back to that, I really think that we're going to be really, really good. Again, we have the talent. We got the core. You just got to do it.
Yeah, the Orioles have made a managerial change since the last time we spoke. Tony Mansolino now in charge. And, they've done quite well, I think, overall, for the most part, under his guidance. We don't know if he's going to be the long-term guy. We had Ryan Flaherty on a previous podcast. He seems to be climbing his way up the ranks. Your former teammate, he seems like he could be major league managerial material one day. Maybe an Oriole, I don't know.
I mean, I can't go that far on Flash and saying where he's going to go, but I do know that Flash will be a manager, in my opinion. The guy's a baseball savant. He's a sports savant, and he knows the game inside and out. He also knows how to speak with the analytical department and the baseball field. So he can mesh that knowledge together perfectly. I don't know where he's going to be, but I think him, Barry, I think they're going to be managers very soon, and it's going to be a blessing. As far as Maz has been amazing. He's been amazing. Every time I've been in, I've talked to him, various times, and he has just been amazing. He's a baseball savant also. His pops, Mr. Maz, is an OG in the game, working with under Snitker. So he knows what he's doing. Obviously, it's a big role, big opportunity. He's managing the minor leagues. Minor leagues is not the major leagues. But I think he's handled it with grace, with poise, with respect, responsibility, accountability. And I think he's been really good for the guys. He knows the guys inside and out. He came up with all these guys in the minor leagues. So he's been around, and I think right now he's the fit for us right now because he knows us. And going forward, I don't know. I'm not a part of that process, of the hiring process. But I do know that he's been a very good fit for us this year. Obviously, we didn't start the way we wanted to start, so moves had to be made, unfortunately. But Maz has stepped in and done a really good job.
Yeah. Hey, I want to just give you a shout out. Congratulations, Orioles Hall of Fame. Well deserved, man. And, I was fortunate enough to be able to cover you when I was a broadcaster with Masson. And you were really the highlight of my broadcasting career because it was you that I thought single-handedly helped turn the Orioles around. Now, I know Buck Showalter came in and he got you guys together, but you changed your game, your approach, and I know you have great leadership skills, but what I saw was how you played the game that made the biggest impact. The Orioles have a great group of young players like you had. Yourself, Nick Markakis, Matt Wieters, J.J. Hardy, a strong nucleus, and I think the Orioles have that too. Do you see anybody stepping out of that group as a leader like yourself, or is this going to be more just this whole group as a leadership group?
Well, first, I appreciate that. Obviously, being in the Orioles Hall of Fame, joining a great group, joining yourself, joining just a massive group of guys who, when they put on the uniform, they strip their ego. They play for the front, not the back. That's what I did. When I got traded over to Baltimore, I looked to my left. There's Nick Markakis every single day. Number 9 on the lineup sheet every single day. What am I going to do? Not play? I got nothing else to do. You played with Cal. Was Cal going to go in there and say, Mr. Bansils, can I get a day off? Can we do that? That doesn't work in Baltimore. 8 and 9 were solidified, and that's what I wanted to have. Is first off, I got nothing else to do today. I planned this whole day to play the game, so I don't know why people say I need a day off. No, the day off's Monday or Thursday with the team. So with me, it was just about I want to play this game. That I get an opportunity to play this game. I'm not going to let it go to the wayside. You're going to play me every day because I'm going to be healthy, and we're going to have a good time. The leadership part just came from just me. I'm observant. I'm in center field. I'm seeing everything. I talk to the pitchers. I talk to everybody. I never tried to put anybody out of place. Like everybody, you're all my teammates. Doesn't matter how much money you make. If you're first day in the big leagues, last day in the big leagues, it doesn't matter to me. You put on that uniform, we're going to go to battle together. And I'm going to go to battle with you. I'm going to run through walls for you. And I think guys got that message. And the biggest part was doing it by example. If I didn't run hard down the line and someone else I can't yell at them. So if I run hard down the line, I'm expecting everybody else to run down the line. And I'll never forget, there's a game in Washington where I was 0 for 5, And we ended up coming back like in extra innings, getting the win. I was 0 for 5, and then I grounded out to shortstop, and I almost beat out the play routine ground ball. I guess so frustrated that I'm 0 for 5. So I bust my tail down the line. I remember FP Santangelo come to me after the game. It's like, that's why you are who you are. That's why. I was like, hey, look it. I'm frustrated, that, but I'm still gonna bust my ass. I'm still gonna play the game hard. I'm not gonna take a day off. And that's natural. That was just natural to me. That's just my upbringing.
Yeah, Mike mentioned the Orioles Hall of Fame. Congratulations. What a tremendous honor. Not a surprise. The only surprise was you didn't choose me to introduce you to go into the Hall of Fame. But what privileges come with being an Orioles Hall of Famer besides that green jacket you got? Why isn't it orange, by the way? I don't understand that.
That's a good question why it's not orange. It should be orange. It definitely should be orange. But no, it's a tremendous honor, obviously, going on with Tom Davis and George Salak. It's a tremendous honor to join, again, a great group of Orioles, a great group of guys that were seen in the eyes of the locals as heroes. Again, I didn't strive for any of this. All I wanted to do was play. When Dave Tremblay said, hey, it's your job to lose, all I wanted to do was go out there and play. It took a long time for me to lose my job, and now they're giving me all these awards for my hard play and all them games I played. So I 100% take it. I 100% am appreciative of it, but know that it came from genuineness. It didn't come from like greed or I need to do this. Like, no, I went out there every day to play the game to win that day. Did it look pretty sometimes? Mm-hmm. Did it look ugly a lot of times? Mm-hmm. So I'm just very appreciative of all of it. The privileges that come with it, I on my card now. I'm gonna put Orioles Hall of Famer, so I'm getting brand new cards, printed up. And again, it's just a tremendous honor. That something that and my father-in-law Gene Fugate told me, he's in the Maryland Hall of Fame, and I'm in the Orioles Hall of Fame. We're on the same, obviously on Utah Street, so we're on both ends of the spectrum of that. So that's pretty cool to share with them.
Yeah, one day Reggie will be in the Attorney Hall of Fame here in Boulder. gotta get a shout out for Reggie. Hey, I got to ask you also about the big Hall of Fame. You went in to see your buddy CC Sabathia get inducted. That was your second trip to Cooperstown, correct?
Yes.
What was it?
The first time, obviously, we did the East-West game last summer, and it was great. First time in Cooperstown, you had a couple Hall of Famers there and all this. This time, you got the Hall of Famers there.
The real ones.
You got the real ones. Like, hey, Orioles Hall of Fame, that's great. California State Hall of Fame, cool. The real McCoy, Miss Jane, getting to call you out, man, it was great to be able to support CC, Ichiro, Billy Wagner, Dick Allen, and what's his name? Don't draw a blank.
Dave Parker.
Dave Parker, Cobra.
Yeah.
And I was texting Palmer. I was like, this is amazing. Just simply that. Like, this is amazing. This is the creme de la creme of our sport. These are the greatest players. I got to meet Ted Simmons. People don't know Ted Simmons. Ted Simmons is a stud. Absolute stud. And be just walking around normal, just without any, nobody know who he is. And I'm like, hey, I stopped him. Like, he's like, young man. You couldn't tell, like Robin Young. You can't tell Robin Young is. He looks like Tug McGraw. You can't tell. I thought there was Tug McGraw coming out there. But to be around all these guys, their stats on the top of your head. If you're a baseball historian, these are the best of the best. And to have them in one room, shaking their hands, walking in the Hall of Fame with them, looking at their own plaques, getting CC with his family there, looking at old plaques, Ichiro and Wagner, getting to talk to the Parker family and the Allen family, that's you talking about a baseball family. We all got certain families. That's the final family that you want to reach. And to see CC join that group and Ichiro joining and Billy Wagner, it was very, very special to be there in person. It was a big group of us that went out there and supported, and it was just a great time.
That is some hallowed ground up there, man. Very, very special. I got chills you talking about that. I want to kind of change subject a little bit. And this group actually might be going to the Hall of Fame one day. The banana mania that's going on, banana baseball. Tell us about that experience.
Yeah, the Savannah Bananas. How did that come about?
Hey, Savannah Bananas are doing their thing, man. They're doing such a good job. And I've seen now recently a lot of articles coming out about what can MLB do to do this and do that. And did the NBA steal anything from the Globetrotters? I'm not sure.
Yeah, not
exactly.
Really.
So let them have their own brand of ball. Major League Baseball is doing just fine. But what the Bananas are doing is pure entertainment. First off, props to the players. these guys are really good players. Like, they're coming from college, they're coming from A-ball, they're coming from AA. Like, I talked to a handful of them that play professional baseball. And again, they're still in the process of still trying to either get back in the game or something. But right now, they're having a really good time on the tour. And so that's the first thing. You got to pay the respects to the guys who are doing it. It's not just guys off the street who just can wing it and do the Macarena. These guys can actually do and play the game really well. And they reached out to me and said, hey, we're in Baltimore. We'd love to have you out with this permit your schedule. And I'm like, bro, that's my 40th birthday. Yeah, of course. I'm going to be in Baltimore. That's my 40th birthday. So they sent me a video of what they want me to do. I'm like, this is easy. Let's go. Let's have a good time. I said, look, all I'm going to do is bring the energy. They don't want you to tweet about it. They don't want your promotions. They don't want any of it. They all have that. So it was just show up and bring energy. That's pretty easy. Got my kids there. They took great care of my kids. Showalter was a part of it. And shows like, they don't want me out here. I'm too old for this kind of stick and all that. But get out there, dog. You got to understand how much loved you are out here. And he got to relish that also. So it was really good to share that with him. And, Buck is always, wrap it up. Like, come on, let's get it going. But he really enjoyed it. The guys enjoyed it. Jesse and company just throw a hell of a party. That's really what it is. It's a baseball party. Keeps the fans engaged. And, I appreciate what their product is doing.
Listen, I knew it was a big deal when they convinced Nick Markakis to come up and be involved in it.
Yeah, right.
That says something for Nick to make the trip from Georgia and the mountains and the hills and the woods.
I mean, I think it's just it shows that they have a really good entertainment reach. And, you got all the kids that are following it, all the kids that want to go to it. And then when you actually go to the game, you're like, well, this is pretty cool. That's why I think people should do it in person. If you do it in person, it's a completely different atmosphere. On TV, you can be like, that's gimmicky, that's this, that's that. But if you're in person, it is insane, and your energy levels are going crazy. I've got so many messages from people just saying how awesome it was. I was out there. I see all the Instagram posts and all this stuff. So people really enjoy it, and hey, give the people what they want.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
That was a workout during your at bat. That was a long at bat.
Hey, 88 with Lil Run was on my hands. I'm telling you, still to this day, right here is still fat. It's still a little swollen. I should have probably got a thumb guard. It was 88 on born.
He was filthy, man. Come on. They can't give you somebody throwing about 70, 75?
I needed a BP thrower. He was carving me up.
Dang.
He was telling me, hey, here, I'm going to give you a fastball. Hey, no, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. All on my knuckles.
Well, what about I had the complaint, where were all those fans last October when the Orioles were playing in a playoff game? It shows that Baltimore is a baseball town. There was a big O during the anthem, AJ.
Of course, but you got to understand, there's a different market for that. The Bananas are they're coming to your town once a year. The Orioles play 81 games there, and you running your high and low. Like, if the Bananas win or lose, no one cares if they win or lose. No, you're going in for pure entertainment. The Orioles, your team, the Orioles, any team that is, your local team, you're riding high emotions, low emotions, the wins and losses, you're riding with all that. So the mean emotions will say, I'm not going to the park. The happy emotions say, it's summertime, I'm going to the park. I've seen people comment on you about, it's day games and all that kind of stuff. And your response was perfect, though. It's a playoff game. That's playoff game. That's when the city shuts down and everybody goes to the ballpark. I completely understand that. Again, you grew up in Baltimore and seeing the playoffs of the 90s, and it was packed. You know what I mean? So I understand both of it, but I also got to understand the economics of people. People got to work. People got school.
Yes.
Like, people have to do things. I do get that. But at the same time, I get the other side of it. It's like the playoffs are a once in a lifetime thing, especially, because it's not like saying that the Orioles are been, like the Dodgers in, 10 out of the last 10 years you're in the playoffs. It is kind of special in a way also. But I get both sides of it, the economical side and the fandom side. So again, we got to get back there so that we can have this argument again. So that's the thing. Get back there and let's have the argument, opposed to just having the argument.
Absolutely. All right. The last thing I have for you regarding the Bananas, the word out there is, if somehow baseball were to go on strike, there'd be a labor dispute, man, would they rake banana ball all the time.
I mean, that with the CBA, that's still a full year away. And as a former player working on the side, I believe that we're gonna get it done. But again, what the Bananas are doing, Major League Baseball is definitely looking at it, and they have to. Again, when someone has a good product and it's in your domain, you have to look at them and see what they're doing. Now, are they conversing and all that? I don't know, but it would be smart to just talk. Like, why not? Transparency you never know where it could lead. You never know what partnerships can be made from it and what ideas can be transferred. So I know that the commissioner's office is doing they always do their due diligence and pay attention to everything that's going on. So it's just a matter of time, and let's see what can transpire.
All right, Adam, thanks so much for joining us, man. It's been nothing but a pleasure. Miss you here on the podcast, but you got bigger fish to fry around the world.
I appreciate it. I'm trying to make Baltimore better, man. I generally want this when the city is good, when baseball is good in Baltimore. Man, there's that city rocks.
All right, Orioles Hall of Famer, along with fellow Hall of Famer Mike Bordick, joining us here on the Bmore Baseball Podcast. Thanks, AJ.
More of the Bmore Baseball Podcast coming right up. It's saving season at Lido Pizza. 99-cent refreshing iced teas for spring and summer. Or $6 calzones every Tuesday. There are tons of new deals and rewards for everyone. Exclusively at LidoPizza.com or on the Lido Pizza app. Lido Pizza, a local legend since 1955. Proud partner of the Baltimore Orioles.
In a city where passion runs deep, on the stage and on the field, Baltimore knows how to bring the heat. Whether it's a game-winning home run or a breathtaking violin solo, this town plays to win. The Baltimore Chamber Orchestra champions the creative soul of our city with bold performances of classically captivating music. Join the team that brings precision, power, and heart to every performance. Learn more and get your season tickets now at thebco.org.
They say it all comes back to your roots, right? At Grassroots, high-quality cannabis is in their nature. From soil to soul, their passion for cannabis and community inspires everything they do. Try your favorite strains from their cultivar library of top-shelf flower, pre-rolls, and concentrates. Whether you're cheering from the stands or chanting for the O's at home, their crafted flower helps you curate the perfect game day. Ask for Grassroots Cannabis at your favorite dispensary in Maryland. Everyone knows Greenmount Station in Hampstead, but did you know that at Greenmount Station you can bet 7 days a week just like you're at the track? With in-person teller windows and state-of-the-art touchscreen kiosks. And with Greenmount Station's brand new Bet Park Sportsbook, you can bet on all other sports as well, wherever you are in Maryland. Spreads, money lines, live bets, props, parlays, and teasers. The Bet Parks Maryland mobile app is now live for Apple and Android devices, so you'll never miss your next big score. Just search for Bet Parks MD in the Apple App Store or on Google Play. 21 and over only. Please play responsibly. For help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Effective Solutions, your one-stop shop for commercial contracting. Everything from excavation and site development to emergency remediation and restoration. Effective Solutions specializes in many forms of commercial and mixed-use construction. With a dedicated staff and a commitment to quality, Effective Solutions delivers every time.
Let's get to For the Birds. This portion, as always, sponsored by our friends over at the Maryland Lottery. Listen, playing the Maryland Lottery responsibly means knowing what's true and what's not about your favorite games. Learn the facts and the myths at mdlottery.com, and please play responsibly as always. Now, we chatted last episode, Bordy, about the trade deadline and guys moving around to new environments. You dealt with that. We discussed your trade to New York, and then for some reason they sent you back here to Baltimore. But I wanted to ask you about your arrival to Baltimore initially. That, of course, back in 1997, Pat Gillick made the bold move to move Cal Ripken Jr. over to third base, and in comes this guy from Oakland named Mike Bordick, and people are like, what the heck is going on here? You're moving an icon out of his natural position. How awkward was it for you? What was the welcome like from Cal and company in Baltimore? I've never heard about this.
Okay. Well, here you go, brother. So everything was great. Pat Gillick was an awesome salesman. I got to talk to Cal before the move was even made. Cal wasn't all warm and fuzzy about everything, but he ultimately said, you have to do what you do for what's best for your family, right? In my opinion, coming back to the East Coast and being on a winning team was really all I cared about. The Orioles looked like they were destined to be a dynasty. I mean, they won in 96, had a pretty good team. They were getting, that Jimmy Key, Mike Mussina, Erickson. The list goes on. Just a star-studded cast. And Cal Ripken, even recently, he and I did a panel together. He said that 97 team might have been the best team he's ever played on. So that being said, when I agreed to do this, all right, after a lot of soul searching, and like I said, Pat Gillick basically said this is going to happen with or without you, flew down to do a press conference, landed in Pittsburgh for a little bit of a layover, and there was the Washington Post. And the great Tom Boswell wrote this article. I saw my picture and I went, oh my gosh, look at this. And I had just the biggest smile on my face, and Boswell just undressed me, made me sound like the worst player in baseball. No way was I deserving of coming into Baltimore and step foot at shortstop, really, truly hallowed ground. I'm not kidding you. About 5 minutes later, I went and found a payphone. I called my agent and I said, I don't think this is going to happen. Shortly after that, John Maroon was on the phone. He said, listen, everything's going to be okay. It eventually ended up being okay. When I met the guys on the team, what a great group of professionals. Cal, I know he didn't feel in his heart that this was the right thing to happen, to him and the Orioles, but he embraced me for some reason from day one. He started talking to me about the pitchers, what to expect. We were play catch mates every day. Every day that Cal Ripken and I were teammates, we were the two that played catch. We always had great conversation just about the game itself. There were many nights he and I were in the training room after having a nice cold Budweiser, just talking shop, man. It was some of the greatest nights of my life, right? Being with Hall of Famer Cal Ripken. He made me feel good. He made me feel like part of the team. And I sucked. I was terrible the first couple months in Baltimore. It took me a while to overcome that because I heard everything. I heard the fans. Cal would have had that. You're terrible. I was hitting like 180, man, after the first 2 months. It was rough. Finally got to relax, and the second half felt good. We made it to the postseason. I had a good postseason, and unfortunately, it got beat by the Indians.
Yeah, that was terrible the way it ended with Cleveland. I will never, ever forget that. I believe it was Tony Fernandez who did the damage there.
Yeah, a little inside story. Mike Hargrove, who eventually became the Orioles manager down the road, we were sitting out on the step in the dugout one day before a day game, and we started asking him about that series, and he said that they had Armando's pitches. He was tipping his slider. Armando threw 100 miles an hour. Marquise Grissom had a 3-run home run on a slider, and, of course, Fernandez hit a slider up into the flag court. So, man, I mean, you try to steal everything you can, and Armando, unfortunately, was tipping back then.
Yeah, it makes it even more painful. But you brought up 3 Hall of Famers. I don't know. Did you ever speak to Tom Boswell again? He just went into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Cal's in the Hall of Fame. And, of course, Pat Gillick as an executive. But how'd you handle it with Boz going forward?
Yeah, well, I was always a little standoffish. But after my time in Baltimore, he actually approached me. And he kind of congratulated me on how I handled things and my career in Baltimore. So it was all good, man. I understand, looking back on that move and how it, impacted a lot of people here. And I still feel it to this day. There are a lot of people that say, oh, nice to meet you, just kind of turn and walk the other way. I kind of
bitter. They haven't gotten over it. Come on, man.
Piece of them, right? It's not as bad as the Colts leaving, but, I mean, my gosh, Cal was an incredible player.
No, I haven't gotten over the Colts leaving. I've gotten over you replacing Cal Ripken at shortstop. My gosh. All right, let's go, as you say. My gosh, let's go. Let's go beyond Baltimore. It's brought to you by our friends over at Relief Shop, Baltimore's best adult use and medical cannabis dispensary, 700-plus unique menu items, and home delivery. Home delivery always available, courtesy of Relief Shop for medical patients only. I want to point that out. Shohei Ohtani. Back on the bump again. It's been a couple of starts. He's had some topsy-turvy outings, but in the modern day, he's the Babe Ruth. I mean, anyone who says this guy isn't the best player in baseball just clearly isn't watching the game. He's just getting more dominating on the mound. His last appearance, struck out 8. His ERA is 2.37. He's thrown 19 frames. The velocity, he's coming off elbow surgery, Bordick. So, I mean, his elbow was a big concern at the beginning, but now, he's hit 100 miles per hour on the gun. I mean, he was averaging, I think, a career high 98.7 during his last outing. How much more dangerous does this make him? Because he was one-dimensional for a while.
Yeah, pretty amazing. But even a one-dimensional Shohei Ohtani is an MVP in the National League and really hands down the best player in baseball. When he didn't pitch, he was the first ever 50-50, edging in on 60-60. Pretty amazing stuff. I mean, he is an amazing athlete for sure. But to see him go out there yesterday and settle in as a pitcher, it's just mind-blowing to think how well he can execute 100 miles an hour, nasty slider, great split finger as well. He ended up striking out the side in the 4th inning. Listen, when he left after 4 innings of pitching, he had 8 strikeouts. He had already driven in more runs than he gave up. he drew a walk and didn't allow a walk. I mean, the things he's doing is amazing. The home run that he hit, the 2-run home run against the Cardinals, was his 1,000th hit. I mean, this guy is doing things faster and better than anybody in the game, let alone pitching at such a high level.
I mean, you have to think about so much when you're just pitching in a ball game. You don't usually have to think about hitting. I mean, back in the day you did, but it was just a courtesy at bat in the National League. Now this is real time.
No, that's for sure. And, he got his start over in Japan. And I think he was the first ever over there to actually hit 10 home runs or more and win 10 or more games pitching. So, he started over there. I think everybody in MLB saw the potential. I don't know that anybody ever expected this kind of dominance. There are literally people right now. He's been here for 8 years. He's missed a lot of time with some injury. They're talking about him as a Hall of Fame potential player, like right now. I'll give him a couple more years maybe, but the things he's doing, nobody's ever done, and everybody is just in awe every time he takes the field.
No, he's definitely on his way to Cooperstown. And one thing about it, there's, a lot of copycatting that goes on around professional sports. You can't duplicate this dude.
No, he is the unicorn, and no doubt about it. I mean, maybe they can try to emulate what he does pitching, but offensively, what a freak, man. That kind of speed. He's 31 years old. I guess you could say he's in his prime, but the way he looks, it looks like he's going to be the same for another 5 years.
It really does, and the Dodgers will be paying him longer than that. May get their money in return. They already have with the World Series. All right, let's turn to the doc. Let's bring in Dr. Michael Jacobs. It's our What's Up Doc segment, sponsored by the law offices of Michael A. Friedman, my personal attorneys for over 25 years. There's always a live person when you call the law offices of Michael A. Friedman. That number is 410-363-6848. Either ask for Michael, ask for Stephen, or Rachel. They're all very capable, and Reese is doing a great job on the commercials. All right, Doc, I wanted to broach the topic of gearing up for a starting pitcher after being down for so long. And I'm talking in particular about two guys who are trying to make the comeback here, and Kyle Bradish and Tyler Wells. They've been idle for a long period of time. So what is that process?
Okay, we'll go into that. I do have to say, about 30 years here, particularly with Mr. Angelos, Boswell never got along with the Orioles. I don't think he ever wrote anything positive about it.
Is that because he was bitter that Washington didn't have a baseball team, Doc?
I'll bet it went through a rub with him and Mr. Angelos, but he never, ever wrote anything nice about the Orioles. No. And I don't think Cal mind one icon being replaced by another icon is really not a problem, if you know what I mean. Bordick's an icon, so it's all good, Look, starting up, all the teams do it the same and all do it subtly differently. The general rules of orthopedic surgery rehab is first you have to be painless and get the swelling down. So after your surgery, you go through a period of pain control and swelling control, and then you have to give the appropriate amount of time to let the muscles and the tendons heal. So then you begin to work on your range of motion, which is typically done with passive range of motion, where the therapist or the trainer gradually gets your motion back, which is extremely important for pitchers. And Mike knows, Mike's had some elbow issues and his elbow doesn't straighten all the way. So as a shortstop, that's important, but as a pitcher, that's critical. And so once you gradually get your range of motion back, you simultaneously work on getting your passive strength back using isometric and non-isometric methods to get the strength back in your forearm. And again, as a pitcher, you have to do some unusual things because they rotate the wrist to spin the ball. So they don't only have to have good flexion and extension, but they have to have a good pronation and supination. And they have to get the strength back in their hands because that's releasing the ball is critical for all throwers. So all of that is kind of done outside of the baseball diamond. Once the range of motion is good, and as you remember in not Armando, you got me talking about Armando there, but in Batista's case, his range of motion did not come back quickly, so they went back and had to re-arthroscope him to break up some of the scar tissue. But assuming you get your range of motion back, then you start doing your flat ground training. And that starts at throwing on a level ground at short distances. And then each team is different. I always felt the Orioles had the best training staff in baseball for the last 50 years, with Richie and Brian running things. And they had their own rehab book. That's a loose leaf notebook that's quite thick. I know a number of college teams have come to consult with them over their program, but they start with an interval program of flat ground, short distance, long distance, short toss, long toss, until they reach a point which a long toss is pretty impressive. I mean, these guys are throwing well over 100 feet. And once that's the case, they begin going to mound training where they throw all non-spinning pitches. And they gradually try to keep them from looking at the radar gun because they don't want the throwers chasing the radar gun. And I guess today they don't want them chasing the spin gun, but they just want to see that their motion's correct and they're not pushing it. Usually in this pathway, there are some setbacks where your elbow gets a little swollen, your shoulder gets a little tight, where you have to back up. It's usually 2-3 steps forward, 1 step backwards. That's kind of the typical progression. And then finally, as they get there, then they start working on their spinning pitches and or their secondary pitches. And it's a long, long process. And as everybody knows, throwing off the mound is completely different from throwing in a minor league game, which is different from a simulated game, which is even different from throwing at double AAA. The intensity from your rehab assignment to the major leagues is always treacherous because it's just a unique experience being out there when everything's on the line. And that process usually takes 2 months. Mike, I think when you had your shoulder problem, how long did it take you to get back to throwing?
I was throwing over the winter. So yeah, it was a couple months, but the rehab started like right away. They were moving my arm around like hours after coming out of surgery. How about, do you expect them to actually pitch for the Orioles this year? Or do you think they're going to be careful and just let them make sure they can throw and the velocity's up and let them shut down? Or would you rather, as a doctor, see them actually perform in competition this year?
Since the year is lost, you have to do this in concert with the player. I know that they're both, particularly Bradish, who I know better, is a very competitive person. If they look fantastic in the training room, and he's now going to be close to a year and 3 months by September, he may want to go out and throw in 2 or 3 games. I don't see any need to it, and I personally would discourage him from doing that. But if he looks great and he's highly motivated, that's kind of the art of medicine. But I personally see no reason to bring him out there. Once again, you get excited. Even though the games are, quote, meaningless, they're meaningful to the players. Right. You can always go 1 step too far. So I personally would say at this point in time, I would just try to shut him down, let him have a regular rest period over the winter, which is very important, and then try to give him a normal spring training.
Agreed. Dr. Michael Jacobs, thank you for the input brought to us by the law offices of Michael A. Friedman. Want to thank all our sponsors out there. Much gratitude for their support to keep this podcast alive.
In a city where passion runs deep, on the stage and on the field, Baltimore knows how to bring the heat. Whether it's a game-winning home run or a breathtaking violin solo, this town plays to win. The Baltimore Chamber Orchestra champions the creative soul of our city with bold performances of classically captivating music. Join the team that brings precision, power, and heart to every performance. Learn more and get your season tickets now at thebco.org.
They say it all comes back to your roots, right? At Grassroots, high-quality cannabis is in their nature. From soil to soul, their passion for cannabis and community inspires everything they do. Try your favorite strains from their cultivar library of top-shelf flower, pre-rolls, and concentrates. Whether you're cheering from the stands or chanting for the O's at home, their crafted flower helps you curate the perfect game day. Ask for Grassroots Cannabis at your favorite dispensary in Maryland.
Hello, my name is Reese Friedman, and I'm the daughter of Stephen L. Friedman and Rachel Friedman.
Hi, I'm Reese Friedman. A little bit older from the last time you saw me, but still the daughter of Stephen and Rachel Friedman and the granddaughter of Michael Friedman. Now, I'm here to tell you that the law offices of Michael Friedman are still the experts in the field of personal injury accident law. So if you or a loved one have been seriously injured in a motor vehicle accident, I do not want you to hesitate. Call us at 410-363-6848 or email us directly from our website, maflaw.com, for a free consultation. The law offices of Michael Friedman, serving the community for over 40 years.
Jerry Coleman here. I've been a client of the law offices of Michael A. Friedman for well over 25 years now. From motor vehicle accidents to other tort-related issues, 410-363-6848, or find them on their website at maflaw.com.
I'm retired now, but I was an Orioles home run. Grand slam, actually. Took a sweet ride right into the flag court, and it was awesome. Could be awesome for you too. If you play Home Run Riches from the Maryland Lottery, you could win instantly or be a contestant of the game and win $500 for being selected, $500 for every Orioles home run, and $5,000 for every Grand Slam. Sounds like a ball if you ask me. Enter all season at mdlottery.com.
At Pappas Restaurants, we've been serving up Maryland's best crab cakes for over 5 decades, and now we make it easier than ever to get your favorites. With 4 restaurants and sports bar locations across Harford County, Baltimore County, and Anne Arundel County, you can stop in for fresh seafood, ice-cold drinks, and wall-to-wall TVs. But if you can't make it in, don't worry. We'll bring Pappas to you. Our new state-of-the-art shipping and commissary location on Bel Air Road in Nottingham means you can pick up fresh-made meals or have our famous crab cakes and seafood shipped anywhere in the country. Dine in, pick up, or ship nationwide. However you Pappas, we've got you covered. Order now at pappascrabcakes.com. It's saving season at Lido Pizza. 99-cent refreshing iced teas for spring and summer, or $6 calzones every Tuesday. There are tons of new deals and rewards for everyone, exclusively at lidopizza.com or on the Lido Pizza app. Lido Pizza, a local legend since 1955, proud partner of the Baltimore Orioles. Everyone knows Greenmount Station in Hampstead, but did you know that at Greenmount Station you can bet 7 days a week just like you're at the track? With in-person teller windows and state-of-the-art touchscreen kiosks. And with Greenmount Station's brand new Bet Park Sportsbook, you can bet on all other sports as well, wherever you are in Maryland. Spreads, money lines, live bets, props, parlays, and teasers. The Bet Parks Maryland mobile app is now live for Apple and Android devices, so you'll never miss your next big score. Just search for Bet Parks MD in the Apple App Store or on Google Play. 21 and over only. Please play responsibly. For help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Shop Maryland's largest adult use and medical cannabis menu, located at 1114 Cathedral Street in Baltimore, with medical delivery available throughout Maryland 7 days a week. Only at Relief Shop.
Effective Solutions, your one-stop shop for commercial contracting. Everything from excavation and site development to emergency remediation and restoration. Effective Solutions specializes in many forms of commercial and mixed-use construction. With a dedicated staff and a commitment to quality, Effective Solutions delivers every time.
Special thanks to senior executive producer Chip Franklin for putting this latest episode together. Chip is coming east, so everyone on the East Coast, you've been warned. Until next time, be real, be kind, and make sure to be back next week. A special exclusive edition of the Bmore Baseball Podcast with a guy who has 500 home runs and over 3,000 hits. We'll let you guess who that person is. There's only a few out there. We'll see you then.
Do you know who I am? I'm kind of a big deal.